So you and Jane have done 2 movies together this year. You did 80 for Brady, and now you're doing Moving On. I mean, you guys just have so much experience over the decades. How would you describe the dynamic of working together, and does it ever get old? Because you guys are just constantly together.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't gotten old as long as the material's good, and the script's well written and funny and contentful, and I don't think it would ever get old that way. And we'd always be striving to come up with a different character, a new twist on it, or something. Something that would be a challenge for us at that time. So that's cool. And no, I mean Jane's very easy to work with. Except she won't let me do her hair or makeup. I don't understand.
Would you consider yourself a makeup and hair connoisseur?
Yes, because I have a very good hair and makeup person working on me right now.
You've had years of experience getting it done,
yeah,
right?
I do. I do. I could handle it.
I love that. And is it true that the 2 of you met back in 1977? She attended your show, appearing nightly backstage, right? Is that how you guys
at the
met?
Amundsen.
How was that? What was your first interaction like?
Well, I was very excited because I was a huge fan of hers, and I've said, I'm repeating myself so much, but I had a clute hairdo, and I'd had it for a couple of years, and never really had no designs on meeting her. Then she came backstage, and she was pretty glamorous. I remember now she had high boots on, and she had a cape and a lot of hair flying. The kind I used to put a hairnet on at the restaurants when I worked as a waitress. I should have done that to her. I should have just, pardon me, Miss Fonda, before you come into my room, I'd like to put a hairnet on you.
Can you imagine? Would you be here if you had done that, right?
I think so, because Jane is so innocent. She would have, she would say, "Is my hair, is it wrong? Should I do something else?" I mean, she's just, she's like a young girl. And it's kind of refreshing. So that's how I met her, and all the kids on the crew were all excited. Jane's here, Jane Fonda's here. So that was it.
Would you ever imagine that you'd be here now, decades later, having done so many projects together and being best friends?
No, I wouldn't have. There'd be no reason for me to. Although she didn't really mention 9 to 5 to me at that moment, but she said she got the idea for it to be a comedy from seeing me do my show. And then on the way home, she turned on the radio and Dolly was singing, so she thought Dolly and Lily and Jane would make a good trio. And she was right.
She was definitely right. And speaking of 9 to 5, Plotting a Murder, it's kind of giving me flashbacks. And now we have Moving On also doing the same. I mean, it's just comedic gold, you and Jane.
That's right.
Plotting a Murder again, right?
Of course, yeah.
So how fun is it playing partners in crime together?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, the script is funny, so we liked it. We both loved working with Paul. I'd already worked with him a couple of times, and I knew Jane loved one of the movies I'd done with him, and so she had a good time too.
And your character was a little hesitant at first to get on board with the whole
9 to 5 thing.
No, in the new movie, Moving On, to get
on board with the plot to get even.
Yes, eventually gets on board. Have you always been a protective friend in your own life?
I think so. I think to really close friends I am, or I would certainly be motivated that way. But at the time, I felt that Evelyn, my character, was kind of going along with her just to try to keep her out of trouble. She would try to stop her from taking that final step. That would just be too gruesome for her.
Yes, totally. And she's a great friend, for sure.
Yeah.
And you look so incredible. I mean, you've been in so many projects in the past year alone. You just keep going. What would you say is your secret to being timeless in body and spirit? Because you are just incredible.
Well, I'm happy, I guess. I'm somewhat timeless because I've done so many different characters, and young ones and old, and never my body or nothing ever stopped me. I just would do the characters as I thought. And then I'd see my hands. If I was doing like one of the male singers I'd look and I'd say, gee, my hands are small, but his hands are small. but Edith Hand's hands were big. So, but I just blot that out and go on.
When you think back to your career, you've done so many iconic roles. Which one really stands out to you, like looking back?
Well, I love Grandma. I love All of Me. I love 9 to 5. I mean, most of the movies I did, I really liked them. That's why I chose to do them. What other roles have I done? Big
Nashville,
Business.
Grace and
Nashville, well,
Frankie.
that was the first movie I ever did, and that was pretty exciting because that was Altman's movie, and it's considered one of his really great movies.
Definitely.
And I just happened to get into it.
And you got nominated for that role.
And
so
I
that
got
was
nominated,
pretty
that's right.
cool. And you became a huge star with Laugh-In all those years ago.
Nothing fits. It all kind of like fits sort of like
no,
that.
but that means you're versatile. You can do everything.
Yeah, versatile, that's it.
What do you remember most about those days in Laugh-In, and how did it shape you as a performer?
Well, I took those characters to Laugh-In because I did an act. After I got well known, I'd make a joke. I'd say, it's my act that kept me off the match game all these years, because everybody else had to do the match game, to make more money, to make extra money. Because when I joined Laugh-In, I was making $750 a week, and I didn't anticipate becoming like a household word practically overnight. So anyway, I was happy. That's the deal I made, and I lived with it. So I would normally, but I had an act, so I could now get booked places.
How exciting. And it definitely catapulted your career. So that was really cool.
In a whole other direction.
Yeah, totally.
And then I got television specials, and that put me in another position.
You've really been everywhere, and you're such a Hollywood icon. Who would you want to play you in the movie of your life if you got to choose?
Oh, God. Well, I don't know. Holy mackerel. Everybody, I think.
Anybody. You could throw any name out.
I don't even, I can't even, maybe Rihanna.
I love that answer. I mean, who doesn't love Rihanna, right?
Yeah.
I think she could play you.
I bet she could.
Have you been watching her in the performances? Super Bowl, Oscars.
Yeah, right.
She's been killing it. And back to the movie. So a big theme in this movie is making peace with your past. What advice would you give to your younger self if you could speak to her?
I would just say, be cool. Just sit back a little bit. Don't overanalyze it or over angst about it. And many times, which I did, of course. If I did a special and I didn't get the highest rating, I would just be devastated. Mm-hmm. I'd think, well, it's all over for me now.
Yeah, take life a little less seriously.
Yeah.
And clearly it's worked out for you because it just keeps going, all the roles. Do you and Jane have anything in the works?
No.
Hopefully.
Well, we've in the backs of our minds, we always have a sequel to 9 to 5.
Ooh.
I'm always hoping for that.
Has there been anything of interest?
Well, we had a script written. It really wasn't up to modern day office situations.
Yeah.
It was a little too much of a replay of the old original one. Mm-hmm. Although everything in that movie is still viable, unfortunately, whether it's equal pay or child care or whatever it is. But the workplace has changed somewhat. There's a lot of more compartmentalizing and corporate hiring and firing and
definitely. What would it take to get the three of you back together and do the sequel?
A good script, a good 9 to 5 script.
Well, fingers crossed. I hope we get one.
Thank you.
That would be
Me too.
So great.